This is a quick tutorial of the game Railroad Inc. as played on Board Game Arena. This is just the base game, no expansions. This is a very simple roll and write that lasts 7 rounds where you are drawing roads and railways on your board, trying to make connections, avoiding loose ends, and eventually scoring the most points after 7 rounds. As you can see here, I'm playing a 2-player game. You can see my board here. This is where you can put the various faces, and here are the different dice. So you have 4 dice that roll each round, and you have to use all 4 of these dice you have to draw all 4 of these dice in your board each round. BGA lets you hover over each dice and see all of the different sides of that dice, so you can see what's possible in each, what's maybe more likely than others. You can see there are some that are roads, some that are railways that connect different ways, and then this die has a few that let them intersect. That's the only one that does that. It has ones where the road goes under, or the railroad goes under the road, and some that connect a road to a railway, either straight line or in a corner. So that's good to know that that die exists there. You also have some special spots that you are able to use during the round, and the scoring options here, which is nice that they will update during the game as you make connections. These will update for you so you get an idea of where you're doing well and where you're not. Finally, the row of dice faces up here. This is simply a way to keep track of when you've done the dice, but BGA will do that for you, so you don't really need to pay attention too much to that, other than to know these are all of the possible dice faces you might see. So, how do you place a die? Well, when you have the 4 die available, and you have to place all 4 of them, they have to connect to a current route. Obviously, there's no routes already there at the beginning, but there are all of these edges that have different types of routes to them, roads and railways. And so when you select a die, BGA will nicely show you all the places where you can put that die. And you simply choose one of those spots and place the route in it. You draw the route to it. Alright, so this you can see I have gone through a couple of rounds here. It will place, this is round 2 where I'm placing all of these. But round 1 I placed these 4, and it'll show with a little 1 there which ones were placed in round 1. But I connected here, and then I started connecting to the other routes that I placed to kind of start making a larger route here. So why are you connecting these routes? What's the point? How do you get points at the end of the game? Alright, so the primary way to get points, and the most points that you probably will get, is from connecting exits. So you will take each of your routes, and a route can be made up of roads or railways, and see all of the places where it connects to the outside. Now currently this one only places 2, but if I get this one connected, and this one connected, and maybe this one too, maybe I get up to 5 or 4 connections on this route, and then I have another route that comes up here and connects a few more, or maybe I have one big route that just connects all kinds. The more exits that you connect, the more points that you get. So in this case I only am connecting 2 so far, and that's why it's a 4 points. But if I connected 4, it would be 12, 16, and so forth. Note that you don't get that many more points it's not an exponential increase, so it's okay to make multiple routes that connect multiple exits. You're not trying to get just one huge route that connects every possible thing. It's not going to get you really that many more points, unless somehow you got the 12, it gives you 1 extra point. But really, don't stress about trying to connect one route to get all of them. Just make good routes, try to connect these outside edges. That's where you get most of your points. Then you get points for your longest highway. That's your longest contiguous road, and it's 1 point per space. Then you get points for your longest railroad. And see, as I hover over this, it shows you what those are. Right, this one is 3. 1, 1, 2, 3 blocks there. It shows me my longest railway, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one is points for boxes in this center square that you fill. Obviously, since you're starting at the edges, these are a little harder to get to, so you get 1 point for every box that you fill within that. Finally, you get negative points for any lines that end to nothing, right? That don't connect to either an edge or another piece. So here I have 1, 2, 3 currently, but you can tell that I am working on connecting those, and hopefully we'll get those done as well. All right, so we talked about placing these 4 every round. So that first round I placed them here, and then this round I'm placing them here. You also have these special dice up here. You can place one of these per round up to 3 times, and you can't place the same one twice. These are all 4-way intersections. They can be pretty helpful if you get yourself in a bind, but they also just help you expand your railway. So it's good to use these when you can. They will make your railways bigger, and it means you're filling in more boxes, right? Because you are only going to have the opportunity to fill in 28 boxes, and there are 49 total in this grid. So adding 3 more means you're going to have more numbers for your longest railways and your bigger connections as well. All right, let's see how this goes as we start building more and more. So you can see I ran into an issue here where I need to connect 3 spots. That's where I might use a special die. At the same time, I am able to see what my opponent is doing. While I started building just one big railway, they're starting from several different, and they're trying to connect in the middle. Lots of different methods work. You can see this continue to go, and this just goes for 7 rounds. You can see as you just continue to start building, these will change up. You can see this, my opponent here used one of their special dies, and I'm using one of mine in this round as well. Or remember, you can only use up to 3 per game, and you can't use more than 1 at once. All right, so this is towards the end of the game. This is the last round. Again, you can see I've started building this route. It's looking good. I'm connecting 6 different exits, which gets me 20 points. And then this other one, you can see over here, connects 1, 2 exits, because these two don't connect because it's under a bridge. So that's another 4 points. And then there's finally one more that connects 3, which I believe is 8. So that's where my 32 is coming from. And my longest road, here it is. It shows my longest railway, the number in the middle, and my number of endpoints that I'm losing points for. And here's where we end up. It was a fairly close game, but I had some issues not connecting things here, and my opponent was able to do some big connections there and get some great longest roads and longest railways for me. And that's the game. Again, you use all 4 dice. You can use special dice up to 3 times per game. And you're trying to connect exits, make longest rails and roads, and fill in that center spot. And don't leave any loose ends. All right, hope this is helpful.